not be?
Um, I think I need a little bit more practice in understanding what sustainability is.
Definitely. So sustainability is a new concept. It basically relates to how technology development can be really harmful to the environment. It's several different ways, but what we focus on at Ecotech Lab is probably the one you're most familiar with, which is high carbon emissions that are emitted from technology development, which pollute the atmosphere, which leads to global warming, which is really bad for the climate overall and can have catastrophic consequences in the next decades if we don't do something about it. So there's this idea that major organizations and governments prioritize, which is net zero emissions by 2050. Basically, net zero means that this amount of carbon we emit into the atmosphere, we would do everything we can to take out that same amount from the atmosphere. So it's net zero, right? What we put out, we reduce as well. The problem is that this is really hard to achieve because 2050 is only 25 years away, right?
Mhm.
So how are we going to do this in 25 years? Well, it starts with you and your peers and students at your age who are now learning about technology at this young age and are feeling inspired to pursue careers in the future. Well, sustainable technology is such an exciting area of innovation. Tanya, I'm sure you've heard of AI, right?
Yes.
So AI was 15 years ago, AI was also super new. It was very early and only a few people cared about it, and it was very much confined to research settings in universities and academia, and it did not have mainstream adoption. And look where it is now. It's blowing up. Almost every industry has some sort of use case for AI. Everybody's heard of it, and the development of AI technologies is through the roof. So sustainable technology right now is where AI was 15 years ago, which means in the next maybe 10, 15, 20 years, sustainable technology will likewise become a huge priority for universities, organizations, and it is super early. It is the most exciting field to pursue right now. And so Ecotech Lab, by educating students like yourself, is taking a bottom-up approach to solving the climate crisis because the young generation is now going to enter sustainable technology and build all the solutions that we need to actually make net zero a reality. So Ecotech Lab's team is small, but it is slowly growing. Our team is myself, so I'm the founder and CEO of the company. I am pursuing my last semester of my degree in computer science at UT Austin, and I'm also pursuing my certificate in sustainability at MIT. I was also a software engineer at Uber, so I worked on their machine learning DevOps pipelines, and then I was a software engineer at Cisco, where I worked on their IoT operations dashboard. And I have also been a founding engineer for a fintech startup and a Web3 startup. Tani, have you heard of either of those two terms, fintech or Web3?
I have not.
Fintech is essentially financial tech. So the company I built the product for was a cashless tipping platform for retail chains, and Web3 is related to crypto and blockchain. Have you heard of those terms before?
I've heard of crypto. I'm not so familiar with blockchain.
All right, so it's the same idea. Basically, I built this, crowdsourcing mobile platform where people could render 3D maps for crypto rewards. So those are kind of my experiences in software engineering, and engineering is clearly my passion, which is why I decided to found this venture to make sure the next generation of engineers, which is you and your friends and your peers, are building technology that's not only useful for us but also sustainable for the planet. And we recently have Rish Ghatakar, our first curriculum advisor specializing in the area of energy, who has joined our team. So he has been a lead for the U.S. Department of Energy, where he worked in their Lawrence lab located in Berkeley. He was also a fellow at General Motors, where he advanced energy electrification for their transportation services, and he's also a professor at the University of Southern Denmark, where he teaches students about energy informatics. So we are really excited to have someone like Rish as a part of our team who is overseeing a lot of our curriculum development in the area of clean energy. We are also currently looking for our curriculum advisor in the area of material science, and then we're going to round out our team really nicely when we have him or her. So before we talk about the summer program, which is such an exciting program, I want to first tell you, Tanya, about our program happening right now. So we are having an online program, which is all about sustainable AI. So you've heard of AI, Tanya. I'm sure you know that it's really complicated and cool, but something that you could probably guess is that it's very energy intensive, right? For a machine learning model to be able to mimic thinking of a human, right? And be able to make decisions the way a human can. The way they can do that, yes, Neha, the material will be shared. The slide deck will be shared. The way that they can do that is through training these computers for a very, very long time. And these workloads are so computationally intensive, they consume so much energy. And so AI is actually one of the highest emitting technologies in the computer information technology industry, right? And so it's really important for us to be able to see how can AI be more sustainable? How can we reduce its energy intensity? So we're having a 3-week program, which is completely online, and it is one-on-one. So in this program, Tani, basically you would learn about Python and machine learning through hands-on building of machine learning models using Python. So everything you've learned in Python through your Python 1 and Python 2 class, you would just be refreshing those skills, I believe, but also building upon it because you would be building machine learning models hands-on. And then you would basically explore how to make your machine learning models less energy intensive, so consume less energy and therefore more sustainable for the planet. And so this class would be taught by me. So I worked on ML at Uber, and basically the class would be class 1, you would build a mini carbon footprint calculator where you will basically refresh your basic proficiency of data structures and algorithms in Python. Class 2, you would train a machine learning model to predict your future carbon footprint and understand basically how AI works. And in class 3, we would actually estimate the energy consumption of your AI model and adjust parameters during training to lower its energy intensity. So this is a program that's going on. If you have any interest in learning about sustainable AI, then I will send this program and all its details to your mom so that she can see if this program sounds interesting to you. And now moving on to our summer 2025 program. So this is essentially yes, Neha, do you have a question?
Yes, if you could send details of that, but I think a follow-up question to that would be, let's say Dhani attends those course, builds out that calculator. Where do you think, or do you have any thoughts on in a real life, in our everyday life, is there a place where that calculator can be actively applied?
So this 3-week short program is more for the machine learning exposure and exploring
Right.
the energy intensity of AI. The purpose of the calculator is for Dhani to be able to develop a simple application in Python and actually use AI to optimize it. But what Dhani could definitely do is basically turn that calculator into a more complex application after the program by building out like a front end and actually incorporating AI in the back end. And the sky's the limit with how you can extend this project. And I'd be happy to work with Dhani on exploring ways she can extend the project after because yeah, that would be a really, really cool project.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, we can talk about it more, but send in those details. I think it's
definitely.
definitely worth exploring.
Definitely, I'll send you the details. So for summer 2025, this is basically like a 4-week app development bootcamp where Dhani would master the fundamentals of app development. And when I say master, I really mean it. This is not about just exposing students to computer science and not having them leave the program with the confidence to build their own apps. Dhani would actually build 3 apps from start to finish on her own by repeatedly using the same concepts, basically, in developing the apps. And she will leave with the confidence to say, I can build any app I would like in high school. So you can think of it as like a 4-week app development bootcamp. It's really a heavy investment in Dhani's computer science journey that would, pay rewards for her, obviously the next 4 years in high school, but also in college and beyond. So the 3 apps that they're going to be building is first and foremost a sustainable lifestyle tracker app. So this app is designed to basically be an introductory app to app development. So what Tani will be doing is using Python, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to very much build out this robust web application from scratch. And during this, she will basically learn all the fundamentals of app development. Not only will she brush up on her data structures and algorithms knowledge, but she'll also learn how to build out routes and endpoints, as well as connect her front end to her back end and do conditional logic. And she'll also learn how to incorporate AI or incorporate an AI model into her business logic in her app. So that's project number 1. And then project number 2 is an AI solar panel optimizer app. So in this app, the students will basically be using certain parameters like weather, time of day, location, solar panel angle, etc., to predict the solar output for their solar panel on a certain day. So the goal with this project is to be very useful, a utility application for people who have solar panels installed in their homes or construction industries, etc., where they can actually predict their solar output. So with this app, Dhani would actually be using React Native, which is like the most industry standard full stack, robust JavaScript library, as well as using Python to develop a machine learning model that would actually predict the solar output for her solar panel on a given day. So everything she learned in the first app, she'll just take it up a notch by actually using React Native and building out these views and components, these screens, using an API call to pull her machine learning data and feed it into her app, etc. And then
she'll be able, is there a way that she can, I don't know, plug and play at home, figure like we have solar panels?
Of course. So all of these apps she'll be developing on her local machine, and she will be able to just keep extending them, keep working on them throughout high school and beyond. She can showcase them on her high school resume, if she is able to add more features to them, etc. She can even publish them on the App Store. So the sky's the limit. The goal with this is to just give them the, that basic app that they can then do an amount of features and stuff on top of it. So definitely she will be able to keep working on these apps at home. And then the third app is an EV charging station finder app. So with this app, Dhani will again be using React Native to build out this very robust full stack application, but you'll also be using real life APIs like the Google Maps API to actually build out a map screen where users can find the nearest electric vehicle charging station near them. And then you would also be using an Open Charge Map API to actually get that data from publicly available data set, feed it into your Google Maps API, and develop this really cool, robust mobile application. So this would be done all in 4 weeks. And the way that this is possible is because I'm sure you can guess, Dhani, but app development is all about utilizing the same concepts, right? All of these apps are very different in their use cases, but the bare bones is the same for all of them. It's the same concepts that you would repeatedly be just using over and over again. And through 4 weeks, you would get that mastery, and you would leave with the confidence of, wow, I can build any app I want. I built a web app, I built 2 mobile apps, I can do this. So this is our summer camp essentially. So the advantages for high school is, as I mentioned, you can easily extend these projects to showcase on your college applications if you'd like. The sky is the limit with the number of features that can be built upon these projects. Number 2, the students in our middle school program are going to be kind of like a feeder to our high school program launching Jan 2026. So in that program, students will apply, that will be an application-based program, to essentially build out a very complex sustainable technology project over the course of a semester under the guidance of an industry mentor. So that's our high school program where you really take it up a notch in terms of building a complex embedded system, potentially using real hardware like solar panels, Arduino, Raspberry Pi, etc. And you would do that under the guidance of an industry mentor. So our middle school program is a feeder into our high school program. And then
that was actually one of my questions on, okay, we're doing this when she is a rising high schooler, but once she's in high school, how do we extend exactly this? And do you have any programs for that? This is good to hear. And is that curriculum fleshed out or to be fleshed out?
So that curriculum is very interesting because what students will do is they will be set into teams, and in teams, they will work with one industry mentor to essentially build out a project. So those projects are still in the process of being fleshed out. As mentioned, we're working extensively with Rish, who is our energy decarbonization expert, as well as other people in material science to develop these projects for the high schoolers. So that is still in the works. But yeah, to basically answer your question, this middle school program, you might think, why would I make such a heavy investment before she's in high school? Well, because this is like that boot camp that will just be like a launch pad for all these possibilities in high school, where she can continue working on these 3 apps. She can also join our high school program, and the sky's the limit there. So yeah.
Sounds good to hear.
Yeah. So and then thirdly, as I mentioned, Dhani, you will leave with the confidence that I can build any app. I know what it's like. I was a student your age once, and I relate to going to computer science classes and feeling not confident in my abilities because I feel like I haven't learned anything. The reason that happens is because a lot of classes just don't give students enough time to practice on their own. And that's why our program is quite long, 4 weeks. It really is an investment of time. It's a boot camp where you basically are able to learn how to build these apps really confidently and really get all the skills you need. So those are kind of the advantages. And then the 3 main learning outcomes of the program, as I mentioned, foundational mastery of app development and computer science. So, Dhani, after high school, if you want to pursue computer science in college or similar engineering field, then you're going to have to take these courses, data structures, algorithms, computer architecture, right? All of these courses are just coming up for you in the next 5-6 years. And then when you want to go to industry, you're going to have to do tech interviews, or if you want to build your own company. And so all of this is really giving you all that very great foundational knowledge for you to excel in high school, college, and beyond through getting this foundational mastery. And then systems and big picture thinking. So we are a sustainable technology camp. So during the summer camp, students will also do a bunch of fun activities, which I'll get into, where they'll learn about climate change, like the planetary boundaries, the ethics of sustainability, and they'll really have a good time. time. And they'll consider Earth as a big ecosystem, consider all the material inflows and outflows within industries like tech, transportation, and energy, and really get that systems and big picture thinking, which will really help Tani and just solidifying her engineering mindset and really developing that. And then thirdly, it's really important, Tani, I'm sure as you can imagine, to really empathize with the consumer or the user that you're building something for. You need to put yourself in their shoes to understand basically what they're going through and really connect, feel for them, what they're going through so you can build the best product for them. So that's something the students will really get to learn about as well, is who is most affected by climate change, and they'll be able to empathize with them and really get this all the skills they need for engineering and entrepreneurship essentially in the camp. So that's our goal. Do you have any questions?
Not yet, no.
Not yet? Okay, great. Awesome. So this is kind of the curriculum on a high level. Obviously, I will share this curriculum document with your mom after the call so you can take a deeper look. But
Yeah.
I know it's like really granular and
Yeah.
it is very detailed, but essentially the first week you're going to be working on that first app, which is the Sustainable Lifestyle Tracker app using Python, HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So you're really going to get your basic foundations of these 4 languages throughout this week by incrementally building out each screen one by one, right? So with this app, you're going to be analyzing a few different categories of lifestyle, like food, diet, transportation, energy consumption, recycling, etc., right? So then you are going to be building out each screen for each category, the front end and the back end business logic, one by one, as well as by also working with your peers and doing that. So through collaboration and basically incrementally building this app, you're going to really be able to practice basically these fundamental skills. And then week 2 is where we're going to wrap up this app. We're going to do a fun team challenge where teams are going to compete with each other for building out the best screen essentially. And then we're going to jump into our exploration of renewable energy on Friday, where we're basically going to learn about what is renewable energy, how does solar energy work. We're going to do some hands-on demonstrations with real solar panels. Week 3 is the AI solar panel optimizer app using React Native. So now you're actually going to jump into building a very robust full stack mobile application. And you're also going to learn about training a machine learning model using the random forest classification algorithm. Right now, this probably sounds very foreign to you. You're like, what are you talking about? But I promise after the camp, you'll be an expert at all of these things. And basically in week 3, you'll actually be able to integrate your machine learning model into your mobile application and also start learning about transportation, climate change, etc. As you can guess, cars on the road are one of the highest emitters of carbon dioxide. And so with electric vehicles, what we're trying to do is actually have it so that they release net zero emissions while driving at least. And so week 4, you're going to develop your EV charging station finder app, and you're going to learn about the Google Maps API, the Open Charge Map API, integrate these different APIs. You're probably like, what is an API? Yeah, don't worry, you are going to learn all about this during the camp, and you're going to end with 3 very robust, very cool web or mobile apps. One of them is a web app, 2 of them are mobile apps that you can essentially extend in high school and beyond. And you're going to leave with the confidence of being an app master.
So API, basically think of it as a Lego piece, like you're saying, extend it. So imagine you build a structure, you place one Lego piece that allows you to build on top. So API is that kind of a Lego piece.
Exactly. That's a great way to explain it. Basically, if you're building this app where you want to basically show your user a map visually, like an interactive map on the screen, that the Google Maps API, as your mom said, is like a Lego piece that you would put on top of your React Native Lego piece that you're building. And all of a sudden, you have this like tower of Legos that's much more functional than what you started with, right? So you're going to be using the Google Maps API and another EV API basically to have all this data come into your application and be really interactive and fun for your user. So I will send to your mom this curriculum document so she can take a closer look at this. Tani, do you have any questions about anything? I know you're probably like, what in the world are you even talking about right now? But this is really the foundations, and this will really explore a whole world of possibilities for you in terms of what you can do in high school and beyond. But do you have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, Neha, do you have any questions?
None so far.
Okay, great. And then just a few other points about ecotechlab. We are 100% project-based, Neha, as you can see. Clearly, in our curriculum, as you probably noticed, there's not a single day where we're lecturing or talking at you or telling you things. You are building from day one, or doing fun activities with your friends, like group activities, exploring sustainability. So everything is hands-on. We do not believe in lecturing. We're not here to talk. We're here for you to build and just help you build what you need to. And then obviously, I'm extremely experienced in software engineering. I've also done a lot of teaching of computer science. I did research in computer science education and was a teacher at Challenger for a few months, where I taught over 100 middle schoolers computer science. And then we, are designing these exceptional project-based experiences for our students. And then thirdly, we have an 8-to-1 student-teacher ratio. So we're going to have 40 students per session and 5 instructors. So that's around 8 students per instructor. And really the goal with that, Tani, is that you are going to have an instructor that you can talk to at any point. You can ask them questions. They can help you debug your code. If you need any problems with understanding any concepts, they're there for you. They're also going to be, college undergraduate students studying computer science or related field. So you can also be a mentor for you. You can ask any questions about high school, college, and beyond. So that's our summer program. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm just really excited about this, and the fact that they're college undergraduates and I can ask them about like the high school experience just makes me feel really like
It's like a community.
yeah, it's
right?
like a community.
It's a community. It's definitely a community, right? Like we're having all of these students come together in this really fun, boot camp essentially, where they're learning app development, they're building together, and they have these instructors that are only just a few years older than them, right? Some maybe eight years older or whatever, who they could be a mentor for you. So yeah, definitely, it's a community for you to build friends, to build mentors, relationships, and get really good at coding and be a star, a superstar on that front. And then these are just a few program details. I'll send them to your mom after so she can take a closer look. But essentially, we have 4 sessions. Sessions 1 and 2 run from June 16th to July 11th, and 3 and 4 run from July 14th to August 8th. So there's a morning and an afternoon session. So Tani, you would just pick one of them. And then we are at Basis Independent Upper School in San Jose. So they have a really nice engineering lab. So that's where we're going to be having our summer camp. And then this is just pricing details. I'll send this to your mom so she can take a closer look. But we have our early bird discount going on right now until January 31st, which is a $300 discount on program tuition. And then this is our cancellation policy. And then just to give you more information about our high school program, because I know this is something that would be really interesting to you since you're just approaching high school. But as I said, it's an application-based program where students who are from the middle school summer program or have demonstrated excellent engineering abilities through projects, et cetera, before would apply to join a team and build a sustainable technology project over a semester with an industry mentor. So this is a really great opportunity for you to just take your engineering foundations up a notch, right? Because in our summer program, what you're going to be doing, Connie, is gaining that foundational mastery, right? It's like the foundations. We're laying the groundwork in middle school. And then in high school, you actually develop a very specialized project that has a very, very impactful real-world application that's being designed and guided by industry mentors, somebody who's worked in sustainable technology for several years. So this could be a very exciting experience. And as I said, summer 2025 is basically a feeder into the program. So students who attend our middle school program get like a priority seat for our high school program. And yeah, I think that is all from my end. Is there anything else you want to ask questions about? Any other slides I should go back to?
Not really a question pertaining to the program, but you were mentioning industry mentor. If you need, I work with a heavy duty, like I'm in the recruiting business in software technology. A couple of people come to mind when I think of who could be a good mentor. So if you think you need anyone, if there is anyone I can talk to, I am thinking of one person in particular that could be a good mentor for this program. I'm happy to kind of support finding those or helping with one or two at least introductions.
That's awesome, Neha. Thank you so much. Yeah, we already have a lot of people who are demonstrating interest in being an industry mentor. We're sort of slowly building that leg of our team.